we're doing the same thing with the links that we're getting with Lloyd by putting them in BLF. Okay, does that make sense, Sue? So they're, like I said, they're driving their entity, their, all the, and he'll go through it again. We're going to do a quick recap, but basically, we've just now created an environment with Lloyd where we have at least 11 to 18 more different types of links in our neighborhoods and our surrounding, and the things that we can get to create that relevance back to our entity with our backlink factory. So the combination of the two, works really great. And he's just expanded our horizon and given us a lot more opportunity to just get better results. So that's how I looked at it when I first saw it. I'm like, great, good. We've got these, Lloyd has got this program, is doing these. So together we're building a bigger and better world that we can rank for, because we have these different, pathways of getting to where we want to be. Would you create Google Docs with the review and product links and put them on G sites? Yes, 100%. G sites, can, and we use the G sites as our buffer. Okay, other people can use a Google Doc. Other people can use, Google Sheets. We can use all those as buffers, right? But we've already proven that we don't want to direct link too much power to either our website or our GBB. And listen, we can also use these for social. You can also use them for YouTube. You can also use them for Twitter. I mean, you can do all of the same things, but we're concentrating on the GPV and ranking the GPV as well as the website. However, my main concern is the GPV, because the way that Google is effing up everything right now, your website is about the most worthless thing in the world if you are in and have the opportunity to be in the 3-pack. Now, it's good if you have keywords that are not in the 3-pack and they're can be ranked on just on straight ranking, right? That's good. Okay. Will we have with the system, we will have option to export as doc files. Okay, Lloyd, you're here.
For those that weren't here, it was only 2 days ago, was it, Patrick? Was it Wednesday, was it?
Yep.
So for those who weren't here on Wednesday, I'll take you over a quick recap, as I'm sure Patrick already has the timer ticking down on me.
We already wasted 30 seconds.
Yeah, so basically when we add a business listing with a visible address, we have the main image, and then we've got the business map with the website, the geolocations. We automatically save the machine code ID, your place ID, and then your unique ID. We pick up on your main category and then any other additional categories that you've already added. We count the number of reviews, we count the number of posts, we count the number of business products, and then we also count the number of competitors. With that being said, I'll just take you through the reviews, the posts, and the products. So the reviews look like this. This looks a little bit messed up. This looks like a little bit too much information, but because we've ran the system a number of times, we wanted to make sure that all the information was coming back. So what you have on your reviews, if you have enough reviews that mention entities relating to your business. So as you can see, let me increase that a little bit. So as you can see, this business has reviews that mention heating system, an office, a boiler, a radiator, an engineer, result, company call, and then family, and then efficient. Now the reviews through the GMB will mention those keywords. Now what we can do is we can export as CSV file, export as doc, that's coming, that's proven a little bit more difficult, export as PDF, export as an RSS feed, and we can also create images of the reviews. Let me just show you a quick example. Downloaded images. So you can all see my screen where we've got the business name at the top. You've got the default category, and then you've got the place. And then also you have the review details, and I'll just flick through a number of them. As you can see in the top left-hand corner, the reviews changing, and a number of reviews. We actually get a pin marker as well of where the business is, as you can see here, and that happens for your latest 10 reviews. Now, on the call on Wednesday, I was asked to create a script where we have the option to just be able to download your 4-star reviews or your 5-star reviews. I've already asked a developer who's helping me with the system, and that is going to be available to us. So you've got your review topics, you've got your review images, and then we've got individual URLs to the review that are keyword rich. As you can see, the keyword or the query stays onto the URL, and then we've got an actual review URLs as well. So this will take
those are all the links to the reviews, right? So what we talked about before in POI and BLF is now we can, once again, utilize our system along with those links and our keywords, to those as well. So that's why those are important.
Well, that's something else that I wanted to ask everyone who's on the call. I believe I know how to be able to create keyword-rich URLs as well. So we'd have, like when we export as doc, there'd be 2 files, export the URL, but then we'd be able to export a list of the review URLs, but as a hyperlink and use a keyword. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's basically the reviews. The posts, again, the same thing will happen with the posts. We've got the post image. This is like a default thing that the API that we've created pulls back. Then you've got the post details, you've got the post date of when the post was, and then you can actually go and view the post on Google, and it will take us back straight to that post. Now, again, what we can do, or what we will be able to do, is export as CSV file, export as doc, export as PDF, export as RSS. And now I'm looking into the possibilities of being able to create images for each individual post as well. And then at the bottom here, what we will have is we will have a list of the individual post URLs. Is everyone okay with the posts?
We can now show the client the posts that we're doing, and we've got the links to them very simply. And that makes it simple for us to, show them, the posts every day that are going in and validate, what we're doing. So that's a pretty important link right there. And it also goes, into our ability to backlink those as well and boost the keywords up. So it's perfect.
Well, we could, with you mentioning, again, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but with you mentioning by being able to provide some type of report, because I know how to export as PDF, maybe a feature could be, export PDF report, and it would have the post details on the report. So it would like take a snapshot of this screen here where you can see the outer border.
If you have these and you have the posts and you have the PDFs, then there's 2 things you could do with those. Richard says, and then stuff the PDF with more metadata, and then take those PDFs and put them on PDF sites,
Exactly.
where they have high links from getting those links, those PDF on those high PDF sites, and then those PDFs are stuff with metadata, for your keywords. So Richard, you win the gold star, my friend.
Well, Richard I'm sure Richard and everyone else will be interested to see once they get down to the left-hand side things here. So that's the posts. So quickly again, over the products. Now again, it works. Let's go business that's got product. So with the products, again, We can export as CSV, export as doc, that's coming along, export as PDF, export as RSS feeds. Now we have a message to say from the developer that the export is RSS for products.
Hey, well, Lloyd, while you're mentioning RSS, someone had a question about what was the app you used the other day for RSS.apps, or what was the RSS link that you were using?
I think it was just RSS app, was it? Yeah, RSS app.
Okay, RSS app, not with an not with an S, Richard.
I'll put that
RSS app. Cool. Thank you.
I'll put it in the chat, gents. All ladies and gents. So let's close that page as well. Now with the posts, let's see whether the bottom we have the list. Okay, yeah, we do. Right. So with posts, products, and reviews, your links will always be at the bottom. The direct link to the review, the post, and the product will always be displayed down the bottom. Now, a number of members have already said that we need to have the Google specific search engine for each country. So we've got Canada, Australia, the UK, obviously the US, and then there's New Zealand. So I know what needs to be done to have the correct localized Google search engine as the URL. So that's in hand.
Okay. So what, for the people that are new, those are the 4 countries that, you know, the product is available in. And if you have clients in other than those 4 countries at the moment, you know, this won't work.
Well, there's New Zealand as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention New Zealand as well.
Right. So Canada, UK, USA, New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
And Australia.
And Australia, those 5.
Yeah, the top 5 English speaking countries.
All right, cool. So let's move over to the left-hand side. But before we do that, I'm going to ask a question here. Does anybody want Lloyd to go over, will other countries be added in the future?
Yeah, these, I've already got a small list of countries. Okay. You know, Hong Kong, China, Germany, France, Italy.
Okay. So I'm gonna let me ask one question before we get to the on the left-hand side, which we haven't done yet. Okay, does everybody want Lloyd to go over the services conversation that we had the other day and how to find services when services aren't readily available to be found?
That wouldn't. I actually don't think that would take long to do because I've actually still got the.
Right now, everybody says no. There's only 2 people that said yes. Yes. So let's just move on to the left-hand side. Now, what we didn't get to the other day was this entire list on the left-hand side that you see here, which are more possible links that we can use our ranking and for relevancy and getting, this is just crazy more links. So I'm going to be quiet. And Lloyd, you can start from the top listing keywords and let's go down the list.
And for those who were here on Wednesday, and you see me trying to display the geolocal map search URLs, and I was like, oh, well, that's not working. Now, if I would have read my own note are required for the geolocal map URLs to work correctly, and I'll show you that now. This is what I meant by I figured out what I've done wrong, and I'll show you when we catch up on Friday. You can add, it says here, you can add up to 200 keywords. Now, I had to put some limit on it for the meantime, because, let me show you. So if I do keyword 1 and then a comma, no space, and then keyword 2, comma, and then add the keywords. If we go back to the geolocal search map URLs, you can see now we've got URLs. Now, what this does is it picks up on 2 of the databases that I've created whilst this system for the system, sorry, should I say. Now, if I highlight, I mean, I'll put one of the URLs in the chat so everyone can obviously click on it themselves and then see the results from their own. Because what this URL does, it will play, now ignore the business for the moment and ignore the keyword, but look down at the bottom here. Now it's placing me in Egbert, which is an area in Liverpool. If I go down the list and then just pick a random one and then do the same thing.
So you're doing a geo spoof on it?
Yeah, but it's how the URLs work. So as you can see here now, I'm in a place called Bootle. Again, that's in Liverpool. Let me pick up another one. I mean, I will place these URLs in the chat so people have the ability to click on them, because they will get the same results that you're seeing on the screen now.
So the software is automatically doing that for us, right?
Yeah. See, now this one
Yes.
places.
Yeah, Martin. Nice.
So we have the ability to create localized keyword rich URLs that actually go back to your map listing, which then obviously displays the right hand side panel. And as you can see, it's highlighted grey, so it looks, so the URL is placing the highlights. So it's like we've clicked on this section here that then displays the target GMV.
Okay.
Let me just put.
How far away from the business do these go?
Sorry?
How far away from the business do these go? Is it controllable? I don't know. I understand the question.
No. What they're asking is probably like a radius of some form.
Yeah, but I'm not quite.
At the moment,
Radius. Yes. Okay.
At the moment, it's based on the area that is in the database. So this business is placed in Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
So when you add a business, let's just show you the process. So when we add a business, you go country, state, and then your city of where the business listing is.
Ah, that's what it's going to do right there. Okay.
So it picks up. This is. I mean, because I've had to kind of.
I got it.
I've had to look forward and then code it backwards.
That's really cool.
So this location here, the city, is where we are picking up the URLs.
Okay.
Now there is, with the databases that I've got, there is, again, I've spoken with my developer on this. There is the option of being able to create like a drop-down radius. There's been a radius selected in the back end of Mass Optimizer for a good few years, so we know it's possible, but that's using a completely different database. So all we've got to do is, well, I say all it's more likely the developer bring that process over to so being able to create a radius of URLs.
Okay. Yes. Do that.
So
look at the string for everybody, right? I'm going to ask you this question, Lloyd. If we take the very first one right there, and you see where you have keyword, we could just take that and put it into an Excel sheet and concatenate the keyword to 150 different keywords we want, and then we just have the strings for all of our own keywords, right?
Well, you don't really need to, because you can add as many keywords. This is what I was going to say. We can add an unlimited amount of keywords. So for each location, you have a URL created for it.
Gotcha.
So just like,
because our people get greedy, they like to put like 1,000 in there.
Yeah, but I mean, would you have 1,000 would you have 1,000 URLs pointing at the same location using the same keyword?
No, we don't do that. We use a buffer page, so it doesn't matter.
Of course, of course. Oh well, obviously. Well, this would work. This would work in the favour of you and the way you guys used the backlink factory.
Mhm.
What I was going to say is, let me remove. Look at the height of this. So this tells us how many URLs we've got. So if I change the keywords, if I change that to 1, and all you've got to do is just delete the keyword.
Mhm.
It'll update. If I change that to 1, and then go back to the local search, it hasn't changed, but it hasn't changed that much, but it's changed. So now you only have 1 keyword for each URL. If I go back to the keywords, I mean, you can do this until your heart's content. If I do,
Right, because there's no limits in there, right?
oh no, there's no. Well, the only limit is the amount of keywords that you can initially add.
Mhm.
If I do Webby 1 and then Webby 2 and then Banking Factory 1, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got 4 keywords.
Right.
Add them to the GMB. Now, what's the difference in the number of URLs that the system will create? See how short it is now?
Mhm.
So you can go down and you can just keep on going, and they will all be keyword rich, geo-localized search strings that lead back to your target GMB.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same that we do in POI as well, but this is giving us a bigger and broader reach based on how you're doing it, which is why I love it so much, right? You guys liking this?
Now the same thing, Patrick. The same thing with exporting is we can export as CSV, export as a doc, and export as a PDF.
Cool.
Now, I do believe that the export as CSV and the export as PDF is working. So I'll quickly run through that. So basically, all you've got to do is click a button, and then, as you can see, it's given us the name of the company and then the name of the list of URLs that we've actually downloaded. So if I open that now, as you can see, we've got 405, but what that will be is that'll be 400, and I've just got this little issue here of where I need to look at the code and remove the first 5 cells. So all you've got to do is delete it, highlight column A, press Control and B to bold it, and then format the cells. And then you've got all the URLs. Now, the conversation that we had on Wednesday was, would the members like the opportunity, or would it be beneficial to have a search string that is hyperlinked with the keyword? And I'm sure people are going to say yes. So you've got the option of having two exports as CSV files. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, the export as doc is in hand. You know, the export as PDF. Again, all you've got to do is click it. It goes away. It does the bits and pieces in the background. Again, you've got the company name of the export and then the name of the list of URLs that you've exported. So when we open that, let me I don't want to make it too big or too small.
We got it. We can see it. Good.
So what we're doing here is we're creating a citation in your PDF. We've got, we're pulling the image from the GMB listing, obviously the name, the address, the phone number, the URL to the website, which is clickable. If you click that, it goes to the website. We've got, again, a website link. We've got a knowledge panel link, and then we've got a maps link as well. Now, with us finding the local services, I'll obviously be looking into that, and then we can maybe add the local services link to the right-hand side here.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll do that at the end, though.
Oh yeah, of course. Now we've got the category. We've got the default category. I'm more than sure that's the only category that this has. Yeah, that's right. Where's it from? Right, okay. So then we've got the Google business description in the PDF, and then we've got the list of URLs that have been shown you.
So Lloyd, one of the questions, and I'm pretty sure the answer is the PDFs, they're asking if they could be stacked. Well, they can't be stacked unless you are able to get your developer to create a link from the PDF and add that link into the description of the next PDF and link it to the next PDF and link it to the next PDF, which is what we're doing. I've got a builder that's building out PDF sites, and they're taking the one PDF when it's connected to the URL and taking the URL of number one, putting it in 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, all the way down to 30, and then 30 is going back to number one. So we're creating a virtual link wheel.
Yeah, but if you go back, Patrick, so when the Rankin Factory first came out, and we started the conversation of the cloud stacking.
Yeah, we got 10 of them now.
Well, it would work exactly the same as that, because you're going to have just while I was thinking of it, the cloud stack, and then either a folder or whatever it's called, a storage folder, site name, and then what you would have, because the PDFs are automatically named, you would then have the ability, because you've already got the name of the PDF. So what you're asking is completely reasonable.
Okay, we'll put that in as a request in the room.
Where's that from? The cloud stack folder, site name. And now don't forget, the thing about this is that you can create an unlimited amount of PDFs. It's not just one, because you can go back. We can go back to the keywords.
Yeah, do a different keyword.
Change the keywords.
See what would be interesting, and we'll bring this up in the Skype room. We're not want to take a whole lot of time right here, right now, talking about it, because that could get us down to a rabbit hole. So
Yeah.
Let's just move on to the next portion of what you have over here.
Right. Okay. So now all the links work in a similar fashion. You've got the same options: export, CSV, doc, PDF. So there's no point in me going back through that, because that's just it's just the same process.
No need. So what are local competitors? What are you doing with local competitors?
At the moment, nothing. That is just a list of the competitors that the system has brought back. So when you add a business list and it says up to 300, now, depending on the business, depending on the locality, depending on the competitiveness, it will bring back a variable number. We've seen low as 60, but we've seen high as 255, 260. So don't expect 300 listings every time you add, or don't expect 300 competitors every time that you add one of your listings, because it just won't happen. Oh, excuse me. We've done the local map. Now, the geo-local map and KP is pretty much similar to the previous URL, but you have a slight difference in them. And the slight difference is we are highlighting the area. So we've got Egbert in Liverpool, and we've got Egbert in Liverpool here, but we are linking the keyword to the location to your business listing.
Mhm.
So again, we can do the same thing with the CSV files, with the doc files, with the PDFs. And again, we can create, if people want hyperlinked URLs, well then that won't be a problem. I know what needs to be done for that. So again, you're getting the localized search URLs with the local area as the entity on the left. You've got your local area down the bottom, you've got your keyword, and then you've got your target listing.
Right.
That's the geo-local with maps. Now the local service area, again, we're just picking up. At the moment, you can see that I'm playing around with trying to get as many locations from the same area.
Right.
But, I'm using the latitude and longitude at the moment, just playing around with something. So if I click on this, I mean, this is more like for service areas.
Right.
Now, as you can see, I don't know whether you can see that on the screen or not, but you can see the area of Garston that's got the red serrated edge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what the main reasons for me to include this is when we're creating our websites, we always kind of have a like a service area. So we provide this service in this location, and then that location has a page. So the idea was to be able to make it easy to have outbound links going to the area of where the area service page is. So in this instance, I'd have website.com/locations/Garston. I'd talk about Garston, and then I'd link out to Garston using the URL from here. I mean, this is going to expand. I know I've kind of really dialed in using the latitude.
What we really want to do is take that link, which is that service area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we want to take that link, i.e., put it into VLF or whatever tool you're using, and create the backlink with the keywords, from a CSV file, the keyword variations that you did before to these various service areas, because those service areas, we want Google to know that we're doing business in those service areas. Does that make sense to everybody? Give me a one if that makes sense. The link itself is great, right? But then the better part of that link is our keywords connected into that link back to our business. That's where the power comes.
Just a quick one while we're talking about the service areas. I was trying to get something ready, but it's obviously not. But I can show you quickly what I'm talking about. When we've got the service areas, because the database is kind of updating on a daily basis, I've actually got. Let me get the database open and find Garston. I've actually got a list of of locations that's gone out to Wiki. It's scraped the Wiki article and it's scraped the Wiki URL about that location. So then we've got, just let me try and find this for you. Locations, right? Search area. Liverpool.
We're still seeing your site.
No, I've actually, I'm on the, I've jumped into the database. I've jumped into
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
because I want to show you. So I don't know if people know, but each location, as in like each area, has a place ID. Of course, it has a place ID. It has a what I call a feature ID, and then we've got the CID of the business as well. Just like we have here, we've got the what's that? We've got the machine code ID. That's for the knowledge panel, and then we've got the place ID, and then we've got the unique ID. But there's also another part of the URL, which is what I call a feature ID. Now with the local service areas here, if you add in the machine ID for the area, add in the wiki URL for the area, add in the wiki image for the area, and add in the wiki description for the area, you'll be able to create a process that looks a little bit like this. So you've got the area, imagine that being an image of the area. You've got the area name, you've got the area wiki description, and then you've got the URLs, one going to the wiki article, and then one going to the Google Maps URL, which is the one up here. Now, I've got all that data in the database. All I need to do is pull it all together and create like a beta version of it.
Oh, yeah. Once you have all that information, there's a zillion things we can do with it, right?
Oh yeah. Now, because the information is already in the database,
yeah,
that's not going to be a charge. That's just me having to create the page and the process. So that's like a free update, if you want to call it, or an enhancement or a feature. So that is in hand. I was trying to get it done for this afternoon, but the way it's being today, I'm just not.
Right. We're going to give you so many ideas in the room, it'll keep you busy for a while. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Jason's asking, will you pull the embeds for local map URLs eventually, please? This way we can embed that map with directions as well in our SB pages.
I can create the downloads that would provide all.
Sure.
because the code is there, because
that's all we need.
Because the main URL is there. It's just creating the iframe and using the type as embed. That's all that needs to be done. That's not a problem.
Cool. Make a note of put that on the list. Martin is saying that's a bit like Daryl Osborne's local surge to link entities with your business, right?
Well, we're getting onto that now. Not panel service, but we're getting onto entities now. So we were at local service area maps, which is where we are here. And again, we can export to CSV, doc, and PDF. So what? Who was it that mentioned Daryl Osborne's entities? Mike? Martin, was it? So Martin probably understands how powerful linking or attributing entities to your business can be.
Yeah, it's Martin, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So which is all based on machine ID. Now, the machine ID URLs, what we're doing here, these are the related machine code URLs. So what we have is, because we've got the primary category as a roofing service, again, I've got a database with nearly 250,000 entities that have all been scraped, and it's coming back with the related keywords for this entity. Now, one thing I will say is that you will have to eyeball these URLs, because they do bring back some random keywords. Now, what I'll do is I'll show you the first one. So again, you know, these are all different types of URLs that we can create. So as you can see, we are linking back to your GMB listing. Now, if I remove the first or the last part of that, you can see that this entity is associating itself with the roofing business. So if I put the link together again, so in the search string, you've got search for roof and show me this business. So if I do that again and just show you, remove that. So we're linking the entity or associating the entity roof
with the roof, with roof, right?
With the roofing business. Now, let me show you the second one. So the second one will be, now the end of the URL is, the end of the URL always stays the same, because this is our entity. This is what displays the knowledge panel on the right hand side. So if I remove the last part of that URL
after the and sign,
yeah. So we've got a service now. Roofers provide a service. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at this one. I mean, the machine code ID, the machine code URLs all work in the same fashion. So we've got, again, the roofing business, remove the last part. You've got customer
service,
which, you know, they provide the customer service.
Guys learning something here?
So remove the URL. So we've got customer. You're going to be providing a service to a customer. Let's go down the list a little bit. Now, this is picking up. This is only using one. This is using the default category of your GMB listing. So you're getting roof cleaning. So you get
that's where a lot of people make a mistake, Lloyd, when they're setting their GMBs up, is that they don't pick the proper main category that Google's going to look at, and they'll just start off with random services, and you know the main service that they're providing is not even the number one service, and so the leads that they're getting are not reflective of what they want.
Now, it's brought back here window. Now, I think that this should be a deluxe window, because you can have windows in your roofs. Yeah, like a skylight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you what I'm looking at being able to do with this. Let's just do one last more. I've cut that too short.
He's fishing. That was a good one.
Bitumen, so you use bitumen on flat roofs? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what the related niche machine code URLs plus the brand are doing is we're searching for the roofing service in the entity keyword database that I've got. It's then pulling back the roofing service, and then it's also then pulling back all the related keywords to that entity.
Really good keyword research, isn't it?
But my thinking behind it is that if you're going to start using like tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3, I would, you use your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and tier 2 as like click here, read more. And then obviously 3 links to 2 and 2 links to 1, but you want that link that's pointing to either your buffer page or your target page. You want that to be a related keyword to the entity that you're trying to rank for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is the option. Obviously, this is really in its infancy. We can add in more columns here. I can add a keyword name list here so you can see what keywords that you're going to be using.
That'd be great.
Just quickly, while we're talking about the niche related to the primary category. Now, at the moment, it doesn't work, but if you have more than, has this got more than one? Yeah, if you've got more than one primary category, as in like this listing's got 1, 2, 3, oh no, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this listing has 3 additional categories listed.
Yep.
Now the idea is for the niche URLs, for the machine code URLs, for your niche related keywords. The idea is that we go, if the business has additional categories, we then go through the same process for gas engineer, central heating service, heating equipment supplier. Now, again, this is not going to be, you don't have to pay any more for this. This is just me thinking out loud of what I want to be able to do to provide a basic, well, it's not basic, but to provide an easy point and click service. So you're getting your primary category, and then you're getting your additional keywords that are all entity related back to the main entity of gas engineer, because I'm sure gas engineer is an entity on its own.
See, I can see the opportunity. If you have one single client, then I would buy 2 codes. One code is to go to the #1 ranked competitor and use this on the #1 ranked competitor and get all the data that you can that they have, and all their additional categories and all their data that Lloyd is showing here, and PO and everything that they have. And then that's going to give you a roadmap when you do your clients, right? Then you're going to see what you're missing that they have, because what they've got, the naked eye can't see. And unless you're doing all these various processes here, nobody else is going to pick all this stuff up either. So you've got the advantage of being able to seriously, retrofit your customer, knowing what the #1 guy is, and then you can do the rest of the things that you do better than anybody else, with backlinks and all the ranking factory tools, and then take that #1 guy out.
And I'll guarantee you that, well, not many people, I'm sure people are aware of the machine code IDs, the machine code URLs, but none of the people on the call tonight, none of their competitors would have, and I would have no idea.
No idea. I guarantee 1 out of 100 might.
So that's the niche. That's the niche machine IDs. So the competitor IDs, again, exactly the same process.
This is brilliant.
So yes, we're pointing to this central heating business, but if we remove the last part,
Mm-hmm.
this should bring up a competitor of this business, which should be, again, I've done it wrong, haven't I? Not like a live balls up, mate, is it? Search equals, hang on, the URL's broken. Search. Let me go back to the niche. This will just be a coding issue, this. Where are we? Competitor. But the same thing happens with the competitors.
Yeah, you got to fix the code. That's all.
Yeah, you are associating and search equals. Ah, right, okay. So yeah, but found the issue there because I've added in an incorrect ampersand here. So if I take this URL, I've just found that. If I take that URL, paste it in, remove that stray ampersand, and then obviously remove the business, we'll get a competitor. Okay, so this one's closed. I wonder if I can get, so I'm sure people can see what the issue is there. All I need to do is remove that. Yep. You can see the process though, gents, yeah?
Yep, we're good. The question is, why would you want your competitor code?
What do you mean, your competitor's code? You're doing the same thing with your competitor. You're associating your competitor with your business.
Yep.
The same thing as we did for the niche URLs.
It's the same thing that we do when we're doing POI driving directions. We take driving directions from competitors for relevance back to our own business for that same reason.
Oh, that's fair. That's exactly the same thing, Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done the niche, we've done competitor, local area, again, the same, the concept is the same. Now this will work because it hasn't got a stray ampersand in. So again, we're going local area, not points of interest, just like the local area that's in the database.
Well, that local area is a big point of interest.
Yes, of course, yeah. So
that is associating you with that local area.
Associating the area with your business.
Exactly. See.
So we're going back to Egbert. If you remembered first, when I've done the local search strings, where we were able to change the location of the search, we're tying everything together. So we've got the local search that takes us to maps and brings up the business with the keyword for the location. We are also now associating the location name with the business, but via the knowledge graphs. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that you could, put on the roadmap for later is being able to scrape all the events in these areas. Well, like, you know what I mean by events?
Yeah.
The local carnival, the local this, the local that. So if you added events in here, and pull those in, and then we take those and do a map direction from that event to our client, that's another huge relevancy to the area, to that area served.
Yeah, 100%. Now that's the first PDF. Right, okay, so we're back to the beginning. Now again, don't forget, everything has the ability to export as CSV. Again, obviously doc is going to be the last one because it's a little bit more complicated. And again, export as PDF. So we're on local area. So perfect timing, Patrick. Here's the points of interest.
Yep.
Now, points of interest is 100 deep. So you get 100 locations. Let's see what this point of interest is. Deep sea world. So we're basically associating the points of interest with our business. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
export as CSV, doc and PDF. Now, what I'll do is I'll work through and obviously go through and make sure everything is updated for the new version of the code I've released into the back end of the system. Will be there'll be a number of options: export as CSV URLs, and then export as CSV like hyperlink or something, or keyword link, just so people know what one they want to be able to download. Or if you want to have the URLs and the keyword link as two separate sheets in the Excel file or CSV, again, that's possible. I just need to know what people are interested in having the ability to obviously download. That's all I need to do. That's all I need from people to say, how about this? Can I have that? I'd really like to be able to do this. So I'll do one more point of interest. So Riverside Museum, that's in Liverpool. Yes, so you can see what we're doing by associating our competitors, associating our locations, associating entities, keyword entities, and points of interest to our business, or to our GMB listeners, shall I say. Is everyone okay with that? Is there any questions or?
Everybody got that? Yep, everybody's cool.
Yeah. Just quickly as well. Now, if we change the URL around, let me show you. Let me increase this. Now we can change the URL around. So where we are, instead of associating the points of interest with the business, we can associate the business with the points of interest.
Yeah, just reverse the direction, that's all.
A bit like the driving directions, Patrick, yeah, where we can drive to and drive from.
Yep.
So again, that is possible. I mean, all we've got to do is change the code and obviously create the process.
Yeah, we got the to and the from button on our software. So you say, I want to drive to, or I want people to drive from.
Yeah, perfect. But that's the machine ID processes. Now they all work the same. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got four different types of URLs there, which could be 8, because if we also do the reverse of what I've built the system to do, you'll have 8 different processes or 8 different URLs.
So how would you take it and reverse it?
We just change. I'll change the code to use. Yeah, let me show you. I'll change the code.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody knows how to do that.
Oh, well, you won't need to know how to do it. I'll do it automatically. It'll be done automatically for them. Take that, put at the end. Take that, and put that at the end. Now, what we'll be doing here is associating the business with the location, or with the points of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Points of interest should now pop up on the on the right hand side, which it does. So if we remove the points of interest code, what we should now then be left with is the business, and we do. So we are reversing. We're doing it both ways. We're associating the points of interest, the competitor, the local area, and the niche with the business, and we can associate the business with the local area, the niche, competitor, and the point of interest.
How many people in here agree with Richard Roy? Huh? Give me a 1 if you guys agree with Richard. Richard said, "Brilliant work, Lloyd."
Thanks, Richard.
Co-association business. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I will, because I know because I've built this, I know exactly what I need to do, and that would probably take me an hour to have the URLs at least visible down the bottom here. So I'll name this just so everyone knows. So we'll name this points of interest, association with to business, association to business, and then down the bottom here we'll have the same, a similar list, and we'll
Just
have
say association from business.
the business association to, just so people know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether we'll come up with somewhere, and obviously you can see I've got a place for the description of the URLs anyway. So that'll be for, just so I'm just making a mention, that'll be the niche competitor. Would we want to associate ourselves with the competitor? Would that not be pushing relevance to?
We want the competitor associated to us.
So we don't want to reverse the competitor machine IDs then?
No.
Oh, okay. So hang on.
No.
Let me get a pen, because I don't think that would be. I don't think that.
We want the relevancy of those other plumbers coming to us, not us going to them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So reverse.
And if anybody wants to do it, they know that in here they now know how to do it themselves. So, but I would not do it.
Reverse co-associate MID string.
That's a good idea, Richard. See, guys, these things usually take a little bit longer than normal, because when we start doing this, we kind of go down some rabbit holes. But,
Yeah, but that's the way I think these. That's the way I don't really see these as webby. I just see them as like a little like private meetup where it's like, you know, the floor's open. If you've got a question, don't leave it until it's too late, and then you you don't want to ask the question. Just ask.
all right. Well, what do you got? 5 or 6 more treats for us?
No, 4 more. 4 more. So leading on from the points of interest, again, I was messing around with URLs, and Paul Suscott, me and Paul had a good few lengthy conversations about the next option, which is, I've called it top sites. Now, let me do this manually. So you know, that search changed as well. Right, so where's the Google? We need the Google search for this. These should be things to do. Search, yeah, Google. Right, this is what I'm looking for. So, leading on from the points of interest. Now, the things to do. The things to do is also location based.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've got here is that
Sue, you're so bad.
this is apparently the top thing to do in wherever the location is here, San Diego. And then we've got top sites, and then we've got see all top sites.
Yo,
right?
that's a couple.
These 99, I've actually counted these, there are 99. So with that being said, and you know this process, obviously you've got all your little pins over here. The points of interest, top sites, works in a similar fashion.
Got goosebumps.
Works in a similar fashion as if we've searched for this business,
Mm-hmm.
or this point of interest, or this place of business. So keep this in mind. Yeah, so we've got, you know, the highlighted business, or the highlighted, what do you call, tourist attraction. So the point of interest URLs top sites is a replica of this, but now here's the but. What we're doing, or what we can do with the URLs, is we make our business the top site. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the location is again we're using the MID strings to bring back the location of the top site, but we are highlighting our business as the top site above everything else.
You just hijacked all their authority, did you?
Well, because I wouldn't say I've hijacked the authority, but what the URL is telling Google is if we're in the National Trust in Formby, what's the top site to see?
Your business is number one.
Now that works. Let's go down the bottom. How can I get rid of that top bar? That top bar does my head in. Right. So that works for all the locations that are in the database. So Cashbank Coffee Club, I don't even know where that is. But again, if you're at Cashbank Coffee Club, what's the top site? Oh, look.
Yeah.
Above Anfield, Liverpool Cathedral, World Museum. So maybe pick up another one.
You guys realize that, I mean, half of the shit that you're learning here today is reserved for like high level coaching classes.
Oh, no one's
seriously, dude. You should just buy a 10-pack just just because you're getting all this knowledge. I mean, this is retarded.
Right. So again,
I mean, seriously, you can't walk away without buying something after all this.
Again, we might have to manually eyeball the URLs because they do bring back some, but again, it's just I mean, it will be fine tuning, but you can see the concept. Well, I've gone too far out.
Just think of the advantage you guys have over everybody else that's not here. This is crazy.
Right, here we go. So, Milldam Park. So again, I will look through. I will look through the code.
Hey, Lloyd. Now, when you go back to the map with all the points of interest for all of them, is there a way that we can take all those points and put them into a single CSV file?
You've already got them because. You've already
that would be awesome
because they should duplicate from the machine ID points of interest. So that's where, I mean, you can see, I mean, you know, we've seen the local points of interest associating with the business and brand, but the top sites locations should be using this same
okay, but what I would like to see is the top locations, right? I'd like to have those actual map links of those top locations, not the actual map link of them. Is that possible to get?
Say that again.
The map link of the locations, the top locations. Is there a way that we can scrape the map location and put it into a CSV file for the location of the POIs in that list, that top 99?
Hang on. The answer is yes, because I've got the codes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not a problem.
Cool.
So that's the top sites, but just quickly, because I was playing around again, let me get to one that works properly. This will be the last one I'll show of these. I don't want to bore you going through the same process. We can also add in. We can remove the National Trust Formby and have our keywords as the search.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we can build the system however we want it. Again,
Awesome.
again, obviously export to CSV, doc and PDF.
Cool.
Competitive driving directions. I'm not really going to spend too much time on this.
Now we're all very familiar with that one. You could skip that one.
Yeah, cool. That's the well, that's everything that's in the system at the moment.
Is that it? That's all we get for $27?
That's all you get.
Wow. If you guys don't order a 10-pack if you don't order one of these for each of your customers, then let me know that you didn't so I can kick you out of my rooms.
Patrick, just quickly, mate, from the conversation that we had this morning or this afternoon,
Right.
you were talking, or we were talking about, I'm really underselling myself here. And you were like, even if you doubled the price on this, I'd still be putting all my clients through this process. Now, whilst I agree with you, I couldn't double the prices. So what I'm going to be doing after bank holiday is I'm going to be increasing all the prices by 50% on Tuesday, Tuesday the 30th UK time. So it'll probably be Monday bank holiday because we're 6 or 7 hours ahead of you guys or of most of the people.
Okay. Well, I would just say there's no reason for anybody to think about it that's here. If you want it, get it because the price is going up.
Yeah.
Very simple. And with what Lloyd's got on there, you know, I'm sure we all have more than a single client. And if you break it down, what is it? $270 for 10 licenses, and they are only available for each of the business that you use it for. So it's like a hamburger. Once you buy it, once you use it, you can't regurgitate it and use it again. So you use it for that customer, right? And, you know, for that reason, you probably want to get as many as equals the amount of customers that you have or customers that you might think you're going to have, you know, and for $270 or whatever to get 10 of these, it's $27 a piece right now. And you get bonus on the 10, you get, instead of 10, you get 12, and on the 5, you get 6.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that.
Right?
Still got the notepad open here.
No, so people who purchase will we be able to stick the same price even if we purchase ones? Can we keep the price locked in? So in other words, if we buy 10 today, can we come back 3 months from now and buy 10 more at the current price? Are you locking in our price?
That would be difficult because once the price increases, there's going to be people who are paying a higher price, and then you come back at, 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months later.
That's the advantage of being the first ones on the webinar, learning about it and, doing it. You got to give us, some kind of advantage.
I'll have to code the system. One of the advantages is getting a 50% cheaper. But I'll try and look at coding the system to be able to display 2 different prices. One who have already purchased like the pre-release, and who are on the webby.
You know how you do it, Lloyd, very simply. You don't change the prices, you don't do anything, but people that are buying now, it's very simple, is we just create a coupon code later. So if they come back, they have, a previous, the code word is I already bought. Right? Or code word Pat. And then, you can give them that discount that's equal to what we are paying today. And it's not going to be that many people because we're going to continue to promote this, and everybody else is going to have to pay more because I want to make more.
Yeah.
But listen, these are the guys that are going to be in here right now, and they're going to be in the room. They're going to help you. We're going to go through these things. We're going to go through ideas. We're going to debug it. We're going to, so they're really kind of like your beta testers on this.
Yeah.
And, for that, I think it would be a fair deal just to give them a coupon code at a future point in time if they ever want to get more, which they should probably want to get more. Okay. And it's not going to cost you anything. It's worth your it's worth your benefit to have that available, because there's only going to be 10 or 15 or 20 people that are going to be participating. So
What we'll do,
hopefully, once we get all the results and we get people, we go back and sell it. We're going to sell 3 times as much at twice as much a price, right?
yeah. What we'll do is, because I've got the list of members who've purchased through yourself, that's on Pay Kickstarter.
Sure.
We'll work in between ourselves, and the answer is now yes. If you purchase a bulk option today, either 5 or 10, I will grandfather you and everyone else who purchases bulk tokens into this price lifetime, because
there you go.
With what I haven't shown you guys, or what I haven't told Patrick yet of the information that's in the database, I'm more than sure Patrick will be telling me to times 3 times 4 the price, because what we should be able to do between ourselves with the information is create an abundance of local and niche.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you can be candid with everybody here. I mean, I told you the other day that you needed to double your price.
I don't feel, I mean, with what's there at the moment, yes, I am underselling myself, but because of how long we go back, I initially promoted this through my own list, and they got the same deal as you've got for your guys in the ranking factory.
Right.
Well, you've seen yourself, the prices up. I increased the prices before the first webinar. Me and you and I spoke, and I was like, right, no, let's go back, because we go back so long. You know, I was in the ranking factory, one of the initial conversations about cloud stacking and how that could work. So, for the guys that have purchased through your link, they will be grandfathered into. You will be grandfathered into your purchase price. I've obviously got a list of.
I think that deserves a 10 from everybody in here that's buying. And if you're not buying, you can leave now, because somebody needs to wrap your head up against the wall if you're not buying anything.
Patrick, just so everyone is clear, because this is a conversation that's just come. You know, we're talking openly about it. It would be for those who purchase, not for
the 5 or 10 pack, right?
Yeah, but I've had members. Well, I've had people register with the back end, or register an account, who haven't purchased. That the grandfathering deal does not apply to them because they've not purchased.
It's only going to be if you buy the 5 or 10. Then otherwise, if you just buy a single one, then it'll be market price whenever they buy more, right?
Let's think about. Is that fair? Though? That's not really fair, is it?
No, I don't think so. But it's your program. If they listen, I think you should just leave it. You do what you want.
Yeah.
And I did say even one. So, I mean, that was me that said it. I'll tell you what, for everybody that's here right now,
if you've already said, so
just do it. 1, 5 or 10 is fine.
No, but someone's just mentioned on the chat that you said but yesterday you said even 1 pack. I never said anything. So if you have, I will keep to your word, and we'll do it for all, for 1, 5 and 10, because I don't really think it's fair, because someone might have one client where both systems, they get good results, and then they get more clients off the back of using one token. So they should be able to come back and purchase another token at the same purchase price. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll do it for, right, okay. Draw a line across the sand, and for everyone who purchases 1, 5 or 10, you will be grandfathered into that same purchase price.
Well, what, okay, now let's have a little bit of a discussion because SABs, you still, can use these links for SABs. They don't have to necessarily, well,
No, hang on. No, hang on.
that's not true.
There's a process that we're looking at. Now, let me basically, when we add a listing, what's the most important part of the system that, or the whole system is built on, is when you select your country, select your state, and then select your area of where your business listing is hosted or is listed. Now, that's important, but when we then start typing, our business address or our business name, we get like a little pop-up here that says, your business is being found, and it gives us
Coordinates.
Gives us the coordinates. So there's a process that I'm trying to work through, because as I said to you on Wednesday, it's a daisy chain effect. So API 1 kicks off when you add in the listing. It completes. API 2 kicks off. It completes. API 3, 4, 5, and 6. But from each API, we're using different parts of the data. I need to be able to make sure that we can still scrape the same data when we're adding in a service area business. And that's the test.
There's another way that we can figure this out, and I'll show you how to do that later. We're not going to take time on it here, but we've been able with POI to actually get the business listing from the Better Business Bureau or from some other entity where they have their listing, even if it's off their Facebook or someplace else. So when we get their business name, right, and we get their address, we still can put it in, and there's a way that we can configure the map string, and add their name into the URL string, which didn't exist before. So the string will still give that entity value to that business at their address, even though their address isn't listed, is in the GMB.
Yeah. It's just about.
Actually, I think Jason figured it out. He's on the call here tonight. Jason did a video on that in one of our rooms.
Oh, right. Okay. Maybe I need to speak with Jason, but it's all about, as long as we get, I think it's the data from API 2 is a specific piece of data that we need to get from the second API that then kicks off 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, well, we may or may not be able to do it within the system, but there is still a way that we can. We'll figure it out, but not on the call here. We'll figure it
out. Just quickly as well. This is one of the images that I sent yourself, Patrick, last week. Can everyone still see my screen?
Yeah, we do.
So basically, what I've stumbled on, and I've literally stumbled across it, is we can create driving directions and or driving routes that you can keyword stuff. So you have your initial starting points, which will be a competitor or a location, and then we can use. I think the last test I done, I was using 7 keywords. So we're putting in 7 keywords, and then we're putting in our target location, which is obviously the business listing. And we create, or the system will be able to create keyword rich driving directions that actually display the keyword instead of the location of where you're going to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like having your cell phone on while you're driving around the neighborhood like Holly does.
They're not emulated. They're not emulated driving directions. I mean, that if that would just be, that would be mind blowing if you could actually feed that URL into an emulator and have the emulator go to each location, but using the keyword as the location. So then you're going from a competitor, and then you're searching for roofer, and then your second keyword, and then your third keyword, and then you end up at,
That's pretty radical. I could do some real damage with that, can't we, guys?
That's certainly next level. That.
All right, cool. Well, that'll be coming in the room when everybody's in the room. So, Lloyd, there's look in the chat. Richard's having a couple support issues. What's the best way to reach you?
I'll put the support email address up. I mean, you can put it in the GB. You can put it in the room that we've created for it. But best email address for support.
All right, Richard said he's going to send you another email today. I'd also put your question in, if you want, Richard, into the Skype room too.
Yeah, just put it in the room, Richard, or PM me on Skype, and I'll jump in and have a look. Is it to do with your tokens, Richard, not showing in your account?
What was the question, Lloyd?
Oh, I'm just asking Richard if it was to do with his tokens not showing in his account.
My account is showing 0 tokens in the dashboard. Yes.
So I've replied back to your support ticket, and I've sent you an email. You've replied back to me saying that you were still driving. You just replied back to that email, mate. And
yeah. Okay, we're cool. All right. Should we use the links in the Skype? Wait a minute. Where did that go? And should we use the links in the Skype chat to purchase? Yes, they're fine. And I just put them in the Skype in this chat too earlier. Lloyd, thank you so much. There should be 250 people on here today, so I'm gonna do my best to get this replay out with the first replay, and just try to get another 50, 60 people to pick this up, because anybody that's doing this work, if they don't have what we've seen today, I think they're going to be missing out. Well, let me just say this. That's my opinion, right? You guys that are here, there's 23 of you here that are not Lloyd and me. Am I overstating the value of what we've seen here? Give me a 1 if I'm full of shit, or if you think that this has really, really been valuable and worth the 27 bucks per location. Is there a PayPal option?
not at the moment, no. Just one thing, Patrick, because what I don't want to do.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to. For the people who have service area businesses, believe me when I say the process will be coded into the back end. So what I don't want you to do is miss out on the grandfathering of 1 token, 5 token, or 10 tokens.
Just get one at least.
The only thing that I would ask you to do is to give me maybe a week or 10 days. And if you do, and you purchase today through Patrick, me and Patrick will sort something out for you, because I understand that you're purchasing but not yet being able to use the system. And as a thank you, Patrick and I will sort something out as an appreciation for your understanding.
Can't get any better than that.
Everyone. That's the idea. The idea is just, you know, we're all in this together. We're all trying to do different things and better things, different things that people have no idea about. You know, Patrick and I bounce ideas off each other regularly. So if you have service area businesses, just pick one up, and then when the process has been coded and tested and it works, at least you're going to be grandfathered into today's price forever going forward. So if you have one, or you know, you might have 5 clients, you don't need to buy 5, just pick up one, and then you'll be grandfathered into the prices.
There you go.
I can't do no further than that, Patrick.
You can't get better than that, guys. Seriously.
The bonus offer is still available, Patrick, as well, isn't it? The 20%. So if you buy 5, you get 6. If you buy 10, you get 20.
Get 12.
12. Sorry, yeah. Thank you.
I had to correct you. I wouldn't want that to be on there. And then, well, look at what Lloyd said.
No, yeah. It'll probably bankrupt me, that.
Yeah, see, they're already saying he said 20. He said 20. He said 20.
No, but I've corrected it. Thanks, Craig.
All right, guys. Any last questions? Oh, for those that want to leave. But we did say that for those that wanted to see that service area section that we talked about yesterday, we take 10 minutes and go over that. So all you guys that want to leave that saw that, you can go ahead and bail right now. But Lloyd, let's take just 10 minutes and go over and show people how to find the actual services that each of their competitors are listing that they may not see and might be, be the reason they're not ranking as high as they are. You guys want to see that now, or are you done? Give me a yes or a no.
Oh no, I'm happy to stay.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. The only no is Randy. How about that?
I think Randy's got. That's probably because Randy knows what I'm talking about.
I just kidding. All right, let's go back. So what we're going to talk about here is on that list that go back to your site and show the section of what we're going to talk about right here on your page.
Whereabouts on the page is on? You've lost me there, Pastor.
Well, I mean on that section where we were talking about services.
Services, right? Okay, so I messaged.
Randy says he's going to stay now. Called him out. I called him out.
I messaged Patrick 10 days ago, asking Patrick whether, because obviously I'm in the UK, Patrick's in the US, and the way Google plays around with different engines. So I messaged Patrick saying, "Are you seeing these changes?" So, cut the long story short, now I've seen a couple of people in the group who have stayed, who have probably purchased the GMB services spy software that I have out. And basically, what we do, how did we start it? That's it yesterday. Hang on.
Well, you went and showed maps, and some of the for some of the maps showed up services, and some of the maps did not show up services, right?
Hang on, let me. I noticed 18 months ago when I was doing searches on the desktop and comparing the results to the searches that I was doing on the mobile.
Right, exactly.
Doing exactly the same search. I wasn't using mobile data. I was connected to the home Wi-Fi. My external IP address was the same for my mobile phone as it was for the desktop. So it wasn't an IP. It wasn't an IP issue that I was seeing. That was causing me to see different results. So basically, quick story. GMB Services Spy uses a mobile emulator to be able to pick up on the services list. Now, this change has only happened recently, maybe 7 to 10 days. Why I think that this is important to mention is if you've got a competitor, you can now go and see what list of services he has that he offers. Now, as you can see, they are just lists of services. But what you could do is when you add a service to your category, as you can see, the categories are highlighted grey, or the background of a category is grey. So Google's basically telling you, if you're a roofer, these are the categories that you should be using. These are the services that should be added into those categories. Because now you've got a joiner down the bottom. And if you think about this, guys, this is basically Google. As I said on Wednesday, this is Google playing poker with his cards face down on the table so you can see exactly what to do, or exactly the card that you've got. Because what we want to be able to do is obviously create the list of services for each category, and then what we can then do is we can create local posts, but we create the local posts focusing
main service, because remember, Google is looking at the number one spot as the number one, entity about their business. They're not looking at the one all the way down at the bottom, right? They're looking at the number one. So this way we know by looking at all of the people that are beating us, what's the number one? And then if you look down and you snipe all of those services and you add those, you're not getting calls, you're not getting referrals from Google, if you don't have those services listed in your GMB or GPB, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm told, right?
Just a quick one.
So, go ahead, Lloyd.
Right. So
it was created. No, all of those items were added by the business. They're not guessing by Google. They're added.
Google also, Fasig, automatically updates the services it thinks that you should be offering if you have that category name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it has to be based on some relevancy, such as relevancy of posts, relevancy of
your website.
So it's just not random. There has to be a reason why they think that you should be deserving of that category.
Oh, 100%. Now, as I geek out about all this stuff all the time. Now, all I see here is a list of services now that each roofer has listed. Now, the software goes through and goes, Roofers Liverpool, and it goes through and scrapes all the services, and it comes back and it gives us a list of all the services a roofer should be providing, dependent on the category. So what we've got here is we've got an absolute list of relevant keywords. If you're a roofer, you couldn't find any more targeted relevant keywords than taking a list of services that roofers are saying that they provide. So let me show you.
It's like putting 100 fish into a 5-foot round swimming pool.
I'm asking you to go and catch one. So the occurrences, what the occurrences does is it tells us what the top service that roofers are saying that they provide. So roofing service, gutter repair, roof inspection, roof installation, roof repair for storm and wind damage. They are, as you can see, was it top 5, top 6? The top 6 services. So if you're a roofer, I would have these services listed as default.
Yep.
And then over time, Google will tell you what services that you should be having on your, let's get this. So you've got your categories, roof and service category. So it's just, this again is just an absolute gold mine of relevant keywords that you may not have, or you may not think of. So it's just, it's all there for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all there. And if you're needing keywords to be able to put into the back end of GBP URLs, or Patrick's backlink factory, or his power factory, it's just, you know, there's the search term that I searched, Roofers Liverpool, and it's brought back. Let me just delete that, because I've made a copy of this. I can play around with data.
Mm-hmm. You know what I think is interesting there, Lloyd, with your list. I'm asking everybody in here, and you're probably smarter than me, but how many of you that are doing roofing would actually think that one of your top 5 keywords was gutters?
Exactly.
I mean, some of you guys might, because you're smarter than me, but yeah, you would.
Yeah, but for the rank and rent guys, and for the guys who are doing, selling leads, they are not roofers, so they may well not know that a second part, or the second best keyword that you should have is gutter or rain gutters, or, you know what I mean? It's just the data. Having data is like polymer.
Yes. Saeed said he would definitely have thought of that.
So from this list, there's 546 unique keywords. So 546. So just say these 400, and then you go back to GBP URLs, put 200 keywords in, get 6 million URLs, and then go back and then do another 200 keywords, and then, well, you don't really even need to piece it together, because either whether you use GBP URLs or any of Patrick's services, it's pretty much done for you.
How did he, someone's asking, how did you find the list, and from where did you get that keyword data? Let's go over that one more time and we'll call it a day.
From the services list, but I've already put in a request to have the GMB services spy software updated, because we now don't need to use a mobile emulator. I mean, if people are interested, we'll do a deal, Patrick. You and I will do a deal. We'll not
just show. No, never mind. Don't show them the trick in the URL. We'll save that for later, for when they're in the room.
Oh yeah, okay, that's okay.
We can do that later. We don't. For everybody that's watching the video that doesn't buy, I don't want to give them that kind of data.
Yeah, of course. Did I not see from where you got? From where did you get that keyword data? Using a piece of software site that I've had created.
All right. So now you're going to have to give me the link to that, so we can market that for you.
Yeah,
Nicely slipped in there, Mr. Lloyd.
Well, we both do the same thing, Patrick, don't we? So if we can get a couple of beer tokens, mate, we'll get a couple of beer tokens.
We'll go through it when we're in the Skype room.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
we'll do it then.
Anyone else got any more questions?
Nope, not that I can see. Last call. Can you share or create a Skype group for people who purchased? We already did.
We have done that, yeah. Hang on, I've got the notepad here, Patrick, haven't we?
Yeah, do you still have that in there? You can type it in the room.
I'll drop it in now. So I've put the link to join.
There you go. Try that. That'll help, guys.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you haven't bought, you can't get into our Skype group though. Because Lloyd said he's going check. All right, guys. On a scale 1 to 100, how did this day go for you, for Lloyd?
There
you go. Can you post the chat, please? Oh, save chat. Yeah, I'll post it in the Skype room.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Sure, the Skype group, wait a minute, guys, is right above. Lloyd just put it in. You see it?
Thanks, mate. I'll touch base with you in a couple of hours, mate.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
All right. All right, I'm going to save the chat. And I'll make a file for it later. And save chat. Okay. Thanks for coming, guys. I mean,
Yeah, no, thank you, everyone. It's been brilliant.
all right, man. Talk to you later.